for those of you who don't know, my name is Beth and I post weekly vlogs of my life with my daughter Robin. Just want to apologise for the fact that I'm not actually looking at you. Because clearly I'm driving. I plan to do like a proper sit down intro. It's just not working out like that, guys. Okay, I'm very busy. If you didn't know, I am pregnant with baby number 2, obviously, because I got Robin. So if you haven't watched any of my previous videos, I will have the last 2 linked in the description, and I'd really recommend you watch them first, because that is my trying to conceive experience, finding out I'm pregnant. That's all one video, and then the second video I've posted is my first trimester vlog, which in that, sorry, I literally gagged. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Telling Jamie, my partner, that I'm pregnant. And then you see all my symptoms that I had, such as morning sickness. Yeah, the gagging is just not fun. So yeah, I've been filming in secret for a long time, like the whole of this year basically, before we even started trying to conceive. We're so close to being like in real time. So this is currently November, end of November I'm filming this. And I'm going to be announcing to family social media around like Christmas time, so we're almost like real time. It's going to be great to not have to be so secretive anymore. Today's a really big day, so I'm currently 12 weeks and 1 day, I believe. And today is our scan day, so the reason I'm all over the place is just because it's like very busy. The scan, I was very much hoping to have one just like in the middle of the day or late morning, so that I could drop Robin off at the childminders. Riley would be at school. Me and Jamie booked the day off work, but like we could just pretend, like I would just be able to pretend that I was still going to work. Like, do you know what I mean? The kids wouldn't have known any different because they would have been out anyway. I was really hoping that's the way it would play out. Of course it didn't, because this is my life. So we have an early evening scan, which has meant that Jamie, he originally booked a half day, but just because like the way his jobs have panned out, it just made sense to he's ended up having the whole of today off. But I'd already booked and paid for Robin's childminder today, so she's at the childminders. I'm going there now to pick her up. I'm going to pick her up, drop her home to Jamie, pick myself up a snack, and then go straight back out, get Riley from school, and then we're going to be home for a little bit, like half an hour, and then we have to go pick my dad up from work, because he is the one who is going to watch the kids for us whilst we go to our scan, because you cannot take children in hospitals at the minute, or like any midwife appointments or anything, which when you're like us and you don't really have like that much help with childcare, it's really, genuinely, that's been the thing that has stressed me out so far in my pregnancy, is just trying to sort childcare out for the other kids whilst I go to my appointments, because with COVID restrictions it's very, very difficult. And obviously, like I've said, no one knows that I'm pregnant. The kids don't know, none of our families know, my boss doesn't know yet. Literally it's just me and Jamie trying to sort this out. So yeah, my dad is having the kids for tea tonight. I played it off as that me and Jamie wanted to do Christmas shopping for the kids, so obviously that's why we can't take the kids with us. So I asked if he could have them for tea, and then me and Jamie will go off, do our Christmas shopping, so that way, like, I know the kids are looked after and they're being fed their tea. Like, I don't have to worry about cooking. Me and Jamie are probably gonna have to just pick up a McDonald's on the way back. I'm very, very, very anxious about the timings of it all, because like I said, we're literally picking my dad up from work, so it's like we've got to pick him up, drop him and the kids at his house, and like obviously he's not going to understand that I'm in a mega rush. like he's just going to think that we're going shopping, so there's no need for like urgency. So yeah, it's just very stressful. I'm very anxious about traffic going in because it's going to be rush hour where everyone's going home from work. I'm also worried about the parking. I've never been to the hospital for an appointment at this time, so I don't know what the parking's like. Anytime I've been in there for an appointment in the day, the parking has been an absolute nightmare. I'm just very anxious that Jamie's not going to make the scan because he's going to be driving around trying to get parked. And that, like, I'll be very, very upset if he can't come in, and obviously he'll be very upset if he doesn't make it. So yeah, it's just really stressful, but it's literally, what can we do? Like, we're getting my dad as soon as he finishes work, like, it's just really difficult. Anyway, I'm gonna go and get Robin, and I don't know if I'm gonna vlog later, like before the scan, after the scan, or if I just do it a different day on my own. I don't know, but obviously I'll give you guys an update of what happens at the scan. Obviously I'm very anxious about the scan, that something could be wrong. But this time, like, my symptoms are still very strong. With Robin, they kind of like eased off of it around this time, and that made me anxious that something had gone wrong and like there wasn't a heartbeat anymore. Obviously there was, but this time because my symptoms are still so strong, I'm like, oh my god, yeah, like there's definitely something in there stealing all my energy. Right, I'm really gonna go now. Hi guys, I've got my dressing gown on to cover up my work logo, but I just wanted to come and talk to you about what happened yesterday. So yesterday, as I told you, was the scan, and I was very like stressed and anxious about the day. Not even about the actual scan, just more of the logistics of everything, like who was looking after the kids, the like cover up story for why they had to watch the kids, and then I was just really worried that because my dad finished work, because my dad who was watching the kids finished work at 4:30, and the scan wasn't until 5:45, but obviously the drive to the hospital, and that was also rush hour time, so I was panicking that we'd get stuck in traffic, panicking about parking at the hospital because sometimes it is an absolute nightmare to get parked there. So I was worried like Jamie wasn't going to get parked and he would miss the scan, and just so many things that I was anxious about, but it all worked out perfectly. So we actually picked my dad up from work just to like save a bit of time, which I'm really glad we did that. So yeah, I dropped the kids off. Luckily, like Robin was happy for me to go. She wasn't upset or anything, so that made obviously the drop off really quick. Hit zero traffic on the way in, so we actually got there 20 minutes early, which was like perfect. Got parked straight away. Like, I just couldn't believe it. I was so relieved. Yeah, I had sort of got it into my head that Jamie was gonna miss it. But yeah, we got there 20 minutes early. Just had to sit in the car until it was our appointment time. Yeah, so obviously went into the scan, and I feel like for this to make sense, I need to give the story of like Robin's 12-week scan. So Robin's 12-week scan, leading up to it, very, very anxious. Okay. Because in my early pregnancy with her, I did have some bleeding, and I also had excruciating cramps, like horrific. But because I didn't have cramping and bleeding at the same time, like there wasn't really a reason for me to get checked out, you know? Like if you just have cramps, then they're not concerned. If you just have a little bit of spotting on its own, they're not concerned. If you have them at the same time, then that is a worry. But I didn't, I had them like separately, but still. So going into Robin's scan, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I honestly thought that they were going to tell me the worst news. Like, I was preparing myself for it. So when I saw her on the screen, the relief that she was alive, I just burst into tears immediately. And then, so I had that immediate relief, but then the rest of the scan kind of went downhill, because the main point of the 12-week scan is to measure fluid at the back of their neck to work out, to determine their risk for chromosome abnormalities such as Down syndrome, Edwards syndrome, etc, etc, which is something that weighs a lot on my mind, because my little sister had Edwards syndrome and unfortunately passed away because of that. So that is something that's really important to me to like just know about. So yeah, with Robin's scan, they could not measure the fluid at the neck because of her position. We were there for a very long time. They got me to lay in all different positions on the bed, like I was almost upside down in the bed because they tilted the bed sideways, this way, that, told me to go to the toilet, told me to do star jumps in the toilet, sent me walking up and down the corridor. Like, we did everything and she just wouldn't like move. And so in the end they just had to say like, I'm sorry, but we can't do this. So we had to have like more in-depth blood tests, and obviously it all worked out fine because she doesn't have any chromosome abnormalities. But at the time, coming out of that scan, like, we felt so like upset, and I was like concerned that something was wrong because she wouldn't like move. We could see her wriggling in there and like her heartbeat, and like she was like moving but wasn't like flipping or anything. And it just stressed us both out that something was like off or whatever. Also, the sonographer that we had wasn't, not that she wasn't like, she just didn't have great bedside manner. And so obviously the big thing about 12-week scan is getting your pictures. She printed off one picture and she looked at it and was like, yeah, I'm not going to charge you for that. Like, implying that the picture of our baby was so bad that she was literally giving it to us for free. And so yeah, we came out with this one little picture, and I was looking around and all these women were coming out with like massive reels of pictures, and we had this one little picture that the sonographer basically laughed at. 12-week scan with Robin was a very negative experience. So this time round, we went in, sonographer was like really, really lovely. And like, as soon as I don't know what it's called, the scanner thing, as soon as it like hit my stomach, straight away she said, there's a baby, there's a heartbeat. And I was like, whoa. Like, she didn't, sometimes, you know, they have to like look around, but it was like instant. So then she put the screen on, and like I said, with Robin, as soon as I saw her on the screen, I like burst into tears because I was so relieved. But this time I honestly felt a lot of guilt because I did not get emotional. I saw the baby on the screen and I was just like, yeah, there you are. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, I just like knew that the baby was in there, whereas like I didn't really feel like that with Robin. I was worried the baby had passed or wasn't in there. But like this time I was just like, yeah, there you are. Like, I don't know, I feel really connected to this baby. Not saying that I didn't with Robin, but like this time, I don't know, like maybe it's because my symptoms are still super strong, like my morning sickness, and like, I don't know, like I can feel my belly getting harder, and I don't know, like there have been times when I've been laying in bed and like, it's too early for me to feel movement, but maybe it's just like my uterus like expanding or whatever, but I've been feeling changes in my uterus, whereas I didn't really have that with Robin. Even though I had like horrific morning sickness with her, when I got to 12 weeks, a lot of my symptoms kind of subsided, which added to my fear that I wasn't pregnant anymore. But this time, like, I do feel pregnant and I look very pregnant as well. It just felt right. Like, yeah, we obviously felt happy. Like, Jamie didn't feel emotional either. We were just like happy, like, yeah, there you are. Like, we knew you were in there. Yeah, and the scan went on for quite a while because to begin with, the baby wasn't in a good position to measure the fluid at the neck. So I started to panic that they weren't going to be able to do it, just like with Robin. So we did have to try quite a few positions, and my like stomach and like my pelvis was getting really sore because they really like ram the thing into you. But I was watching the screen and I remember thinking like, God, I could watch this all day. Like, we got to see like their little fingers, and I feel like, I don't know, I don't feel like we saw Robin's fingers at the 12-week scan. We just saw like rough sort of shapes of limbs, but like we saw the baby's fingers, and yeah, it was so nice. So yeah, after a while she could measure the fluid of the neck, which is like interesting because obviously I hadn't experienced that before, so I got to like see how they do that. And she said that they want it to measure less than 3 millimeters, and she did loads of different angles, and I was looking at the numbers, and each time it was like 1 point something, 1 point something. The final number they went with was 1.3 millimeters, which is really good and healthy. We do have to wait for my bloods to come back as well, but I'm feeling really like confident that it's gonna come back fine. So they also gave me a due date, which I cannot believe. Yesterday I was 12 weeks and 1 day, and I didn't tell them my due date that I thought. They just said, so you believe you're around 12 weeks? And I said yes. So then they measured and they're like, right, we believe you're measuring about 12 weeks and 1 day. And I said, that is the exact day. I said, that's right. And they were like, whoa, because that's really like uncommon. Usually your due date changes at your 12-week scan by like a day or two, not very much. But to measure like bang on is crazy. So yeah, so it's really good because now I don't have to change any of my future midwife appointments. Like everything's still on the right dates, which is really good. And we got some pictures. I guess I could show you the pictures. Got 1, 2, 3, 4 pictures. Not loads, but better than one. So here we go. Does it have anything personal on there? No, just my name. That's fine, you can know my name. So there's one picture. I'm wondering if that's like the cord. That's like more of the head. That's a body shot. And now you can see like the legs. So yeah, thumbnail. My mum literally rang me this morning asking me to go out for drinks with my sister, and I feel really bad because I was like, well, I don't feel really bad, but like I've been complaining that I've been left out of a lot of stuff, like they've been going out and doing stuff and I've not been invited. And now, so she rang me up to invite me, but it's for drinks, which obviously I can't do, but no one knows that I can't do. So yeah, I feel a bit bad because it's like, now I've actually been invited, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to let you know, I don't think I can go because I've not got a lot of money, which is not a lie. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to like fob that off. And I just feel a bit bad because I'm doing that a lot recently. Like at work, I've turned down like the Christmas meal, but to be fair, that's mostly because it's not, like if it was a traditional Christmas dinner, then I would go, but it's like cheese boards and things, which is not my vibe. And also I can't eat a lot of cheeses right now. I can't eat like soft cheese and stuff. But I think that's gonna be like drinking as well, so I've turned that down. And then also some of the girls at work are organising these surprise hen nights. I've had to turn those down, but obviously like I didn't really have a reason. I was just like, yeah, I'm not coming, and I feel really bad. But obviously once I announce, then everyone's gonna understand, but I just feel like I'm being a bit rude at the minute because I'm like turning a lot of things down. So yeah, it's a little bit difficult at the minute, but you know, it's a very nice problem to have. I'm not like complaining. That is the update. So now that appointment's done, I've just got to wait for my blood results, which should come in like a week or two, unless there's an issue. Then she said if something comes up in the results, then they will ring me within a couple of days. And then my next appointment is in December, my 16-week appointment. Can't really remember what that entails. Maybe I don't know what that entails. I think it's just like checks like urine, blood pressure. They'll probably listen to a heartbeat at that time, which is exciting, because they don't listen to the heartbeat at your 12-week scan. I'm not really sure why they don't, but you can see it like fluttering, so I'll try and record that for Jamie to listen to. So yeah, I think that's all I've got to say at the moment, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.